You know who it is. Welcome to Tell It How It Is, No Filter. Episode 191. How are you? I'm hoping well. I'm hoping healthy. I'm back again to terrorize for 40 minutes. Or be helpful, or be annoying, or just to take up motherfucking space. However you judge or call it when I sit in front of this camera. It's weird because you see me with a nice hoodie created by Saucy Moore, and it's due for this type of year, yet it doesn't add up. We're having a very warm front for this time of year. How is daylight savings for you? We get an hour, but do we really get an hour? I've always questioned that and didn't understand the point of it. They gassed us because there was said rumors that they may do away with daylight savings and just leave the earth the way the fuck it is. You know what I'm saying? Whether we want it to be lighter, longer outside, or whatever the purpose of it is. So I just had to bring that up one time. Don't get it twisted though. I would advise you still have your winter stuff on deck, or at least sweaters and scullies, because it could switch up at any moment. That wasn't planned. Congratulations to Houston Astros for winning the World Series. Dusty Baker. Shout out to him. I give credit where it's due, man. Like, voice of reason for a reason. You know what I'm saying? What's in my cup? What is in my cup? Something new. No one would be able to guess because it's new to my added selection of beverages. Good stuff. Anyway, Dusty Baker, yeah. I'm voice of reason because whatever I like or not like will not really affect how I view things when I sit in front of you. I try to give you an equal, fair, just judgment on things. So I don't like Houston. I'm not a Houston Astros fan. I do recognize what that meant for them though. And I'm kind of hypocritical because Houston destroyed the Yankees, so I really wasn't rooting for them. I wanted the Phillies to win. But I can't get mad. You have to look at it like when your team gets slaughtered, if that team that slaughtered your team wins the whole thing, it's like, all right, well, that means if the Yankees would have beat Houston, Yankees might have should have won the whole thing, right? But let me not get too far into that. Leave that where that is. Congrats to Houston. Congrats to Dusty. Baseball's over. Basketball's getting into the teeth of things. Yankees. Lakers are starting to warm up a little bit. I don't want to get gassed like they're doing great. They have done, at least got some games under their belt because they were winless. You know what I'm saying? Cleveland is impressive. I'm sorry. I said it last pod probably about the records. We know Milwaukee's first on that side. I believe Phoenix is first in the West. But Cleveland is amazing right now. And wow, Donovan Mitchell might have been a good look for them, for real. Kyrie, I didn't really want to put that in here. This is too much. You know you can't voice your opinion, but I'll stand more behind Kyrie than the Kanye thing. You know what I'm saying? Like Kyrie, I don't know if he wasn't famous, if he was just a normal guy. I feel like he would still voice things when he can or speak on how he feels. And that's all that is. I don't really find him disrespectful, really. And, he got suspended for that. Basketball-wise, I see them playing a little better. Do we need Kyrie? If you're a Brooklyn fan, absolutely. But they are playing a little better for right now. I'm not against that man and what he says. Your beliefs is your beliefs, man. And your voice is your voice. I don't really think he meant to intend to harm or hurt anybody verbally, verbal abusive or whatever. And that's cool. You know what I'm saying? Why he can't just speak his piece and keep it chucking. I know as a celebrity, especially as a dark one, that we are very heavily under the lens. And there's things and ways we have to carry ourselves and not act like there aren't people watching, people judging, people preying on the downfall. You feel me? Any excuse to try to take away credit, take away credibility, take away props. It's just a treacherous world. You feel me? Like it's just nasty. You feel me? So shout to Kyrie. Get back soon. I'm not sure this the terms of the suspension. We want you back, Kai. Shout out Uncle Drew. Also not on record. Everything I've said so far has not been planned. Next, I've watched the movie The Good Nurse. I'm sorry I haven't researched the entire thing to break it down, but it's based on a true story of said doctor, nurse, that intentionally set to harm patients. Going through the medicine of insulin. And it was just nasty how it all played out. You know, in the movie, they claim that he confessed to about 29 deaths, which they think he's responsible for well over 400. He was in the hospital industry 16 years. I think he worked for 9 different hospitals. They just kept hiring this psycho. They just kept letting him rock. And the shit is sad, man. Like, if you're in the hospital, that's the most vulnerable you are. You see, that's another key with this world. It's like, I'm not for violence. I'm not for harm. I'm not for none of that. But my thing is, if you... And I'm not saying the state of mind frame he's in. I don't know what his mindset says. What I'm saying to you is the world is so crazy. It's like if you are a manipulator, if you are a person who wants to bring harm, if you're a person that wants to do foul shit, if you're a person who's just like on the dark side like that, level up, nigga. Pick opponents, pick people who on that type of time too. I've always hated the unbalance of the world. Who gets attacked? Who loses their life? Who's at stake? It's never on the same level playing field. You feel me? Like if I want to be a bozo, I'm going to fight a bozo. And the shit is just crazy because it's never played fairly. And that just makes you look like more of a sucker to me. You know what I'm saying? So that's the worst thing, to be in a hospital, vulnerable patient, and you got to defend yourself while you're at your weakest. Shit is crazy. So they caught him though. He got like 6 life sentences. I think he's not eligible for parole till 2403. Well, after all of us is gone. If you watching this, you will not live to that. We ain't living to 2103 if you watching this. Maybe if I have that much younger viewers, which I highly doubt. But, you know, we pray for a long-lasting life. You know what I mean? But anyway, Good Nurse, good movie, sick terms. You know, I'm glad they caught him. They caught him late, in my opinion. And that's how it go. Motherfuckers get away with shit for a minute. It take a lot of fucking bodies to sometimes get the shit done. But check out The Good Nurse. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, 50. I gotta do this. The BMF documentary. Am I too harsh? It's like, the first few minutes, I already didn't really want to see no more. I think I know the story, not to the T, but enough where I just want entertainment. So, like, as far as the show, with them, you know, with the actors acting out the real life characters, I'm cool for that. But as far as the documentary and really breaking it down, I guess I may be just tired of the same old, which rolls right into my next point with 911 show. The show with Angela Bassett. That's the complete opposite of this. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we just need some positive. It's cool, you know, it's stuff we could relate to, especially as our culture. You know, I get the whole you coming up hard, you coming up poor, ramen noodles and all that. I always tease about that, which is damn good when you shit. If you gotta eat it, you gotta eat it. If that's all that's in the crib, right? Peanut butter and jelly and all that. But when you come up hard, it's like, you want to use that as a reason to do whatever it takes to not live hard. And, you know, maybe there are a selected few who really have no choice. You know, society as a whole is never going to accept that. But for the folks that really, really had no choice, and I'm not saying that, you know, in Detroit, because I didn't grow up there, I haven't even been there, so I don't really know the climate and temperature where people will feel like they have to do whatever it takes. But granted, knowing all of this, the point is that I don't really need to see that. Like, maybe I got to be in a mood and go back and double back and check on it, but I kind of need, you know, when you going through your own shit in life, or you may not be, things might be leveled, you may be happy all the way, or, you know, some tough times, whether it's financial, you know, whatever. You sometimes need uplifting shit to engage in, music-wise, TV-wise, books, whatever. You know, sometimes you need to be uplifted. And maybe that was that moment of clarity for me when I tuned into the BMF documentary. For all those who's a headstrong and doesn't feel like this is the case for you, check out BMF documentary. I still, you know, give 50 his flowers for all the shows and everything he has his hands in. But back to 911. Shout out Angela Bassett. I feel like that show also shows us trauma. It shows us, you know, bad scenarios. But it can't, yo, the way 9 times out of 10 it ends well, that's why I mess with it. You feel me? That's what I need right there. To see things change for the good. To see a good outcome out of a situation that started off bad. You feel me? Like, that's what we need, you know? And if I jump all over the place as I usually do, let's go back to the Kyrie thing with the Jewish people. Listen, I don't knock them. You feel me? I know, you know, this is rare. I gotta tread light, but I won't. Them motherfuckers stick together. Let's just keep it a stack. The whole them having their own police, their own, like, existence. Like, wherever there's a Jewish neighborhood or Jewish sector, you know it. You know, they really do stand by each other. You know, whether that's a political thing, whether that's a malicious thing, I don't give a fuck what the motive is. They do. So, I know we could argue they haven't struggled like us. That's a huge debate. I don't think they did. But we don't stick together. We don't stick together. They do. That's a plus they have. I don't care, you know, I'm not out to hurt or offend anybody, but I will not sugarcoat or water shit down. They are fucking privileged. They feel whatever they feel. I don't think they deserve no fucking special treatment. What I'm saying is, I give them that. They stick together. Hands down, I salute that about them. I am not racist. I don't have nothing personal against them that if I see them in the street, I cringe my face or wouldn't act humanly. I'm just saying I don't feel fucking sorry for them. But good shit on sticking together. When it comes to us, we don't stick together. And I don't feel sorry for that. Because honestly, if you want to attack something and you want to talk crazy, spicy, if we stuck together, us, like they did, it would look better. We would get more shit done. We would blossom a hell of a lot better. But we don't fucking stick together. We cut each other's throats the most. If they did a fucking award or survey for the most cutthroat type of folks, most likely to backstab your own kind, we're fucking number one. We are number one. It's sad. It's sad. It's no support. It's no support. It's no love. It's no stand togetherness. You may get that shit at such small volumes that it's insignificant. Give me a fucking break. You know, it's almost sad to be black. I'm sorry. I jumped way out the window with that. Talk about communities, from a community standpoint, from a survival standpoint, from a togetherness standpoint. It's almost a shame. I love my skin. Whoever I do interact with and whoever I'm around, in my judgment, in my choice, I'm fucking grateful for. I love it, you know, so potential is there, but I gotta talk crazy because the masses says otherwise. We fucking suck at sticking together. We fucking suck. Wake up and don't think that your difference doesn't make a difference, because the more we start to trickle down, and if everybody just has a set, this is when you can have tunnel vision. If you have a set way where you're like, I'm supporting my people, even when ignorance and other shit comes my way that doesn't support that mindset, I'm staying like this. If I can help, I can help. I do music. This is very small and insignificant of an act. But I do music. I love music. I love the whole being of music. So the other day in my regular gig, I came across a brother, not my brother, a brother, that was performing his craft, obviously looking for money. Not that he was homeless, not that he looked like somebody on drugs or alcohol. He just was performing and sounded damn good. I gave a donation. That's not my normal. I'm not this huge charity guy, but I felt that. You feel me? And that's the little things, supporting each other. So just, if you're listening and you have common sense, you have good logic, you are tired of the shit. You tired of the ignorant nigga shit, and you do feel we need to stick together, then just have your mindset that you're gonna do your part. And one by one, if we do this, it may start to make a difference. This is not overnight. I don't really believe enough of us will partake, but the little bit counts. And I'm gonna more exercise that and piggyback off of that. You hear me? All right. Wow. I'm about how much in, and I didn't even really get to shit yet. Okay. Sip Aaron Carter. White boy. 35 years old, born in Florida. If you're a fan, wasn't too on him like that. Not to say he wasn't good. I wasn't too on him. But if you're a fan, you should recognize songs like I'm All About You, I Want Candy, and That's How I Beat Shaq. For an older guy, I still feel like he's for the younger crowd, I guess, because he's still younger than me. So just condolences to his family and all of that. And we're hearing deaths is more common than life. You feel me? Right about now. And I definitely threw him in front of a big rest in peace to Takeoff. You feel me? Like, everybody's been watching and knowing about that. You really didn't need me to mention that. Enough media, enough attention is on it. But I must still say rest in peace Takeoff. That's a huge loss. It's unfortunate. And condolences to his family as well. How many times, if I do this every week, can I sit here and not have one death to mention? Sometimes I want to just ignore it. And that ties into even more why I said how I'm so disappointed at how we don't stick together. We're fucking getting taken out. We are taken out. If there's a species to be extinct, we damn near that. Because we keep fucking dying, and then we don't take that and say, listen, we're not promised tomorrow, as no one is, but we're getting picked off. Don't you think we should fucking stick together even more because of that? But niggas don't get logic, so fucking leave that shit alone. Rest in peace to both families. Condolences to both families. Sip Aaron Carter, rip Takeoff, and let's just continue to try to have a vision of some type of positive to get out of all of this negative and begin to stick together. That all. So Drake 21 Savage album, Her Loss, rave reviews. Now, I like Drake's music. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. So the transition, I've liked him more later in his career, believe it or not. Yeah, we know God's Plan and all of the old hits started from the bottom. One of my favorites from back then with Rihanna, Take Care. But since Certified Lover Boy, it's been levels. So Certified Lover Boy is probably at the time by far my favorite Drake album. After that, well, what's the one before that? Can't remember. First song, Survival. Anyway, I'll get that back to you. Certified Lover Boy, my favorite. Then he came with the dance joint, which I can't remember the name of that last one. It's a dance album. He didn't even put it in hip hop. He called it a dance album. A lot of joints on there I like. It was different. He kind of went to Tory lanes with it because, Tory makes different type of albums and music, which is another guy I dig. So now this one is called Her Loss, Drake 21 Savage. So I don't know if they're saying that Drake is clout chasing, just trying to stir shit up, shake shit up. I feel like his status as an artist, there's no need. And as an artist myself, I'm sorry, Voice of Reason may not work here. I will stand behind him to say at the least that with his success, I feel he's just saying what the fuck he wants. I don't really feel there's a motive to what he's saying. It could be. Could be. But with that type of status, I mean, look, I'm an artist and I'm nowhere near that status, and I say what the fuck I want, and it's not the clout chase whatsoever. I don't give a fuck who feels what about it or thinks I'm have an angle. So I can't say that I see him having an angle. He may clearly just be saying what the fuck he feels. In that event, let's go through some of them. She's a 10 trying to rap. It's good on mute. You can pick whoever you think he's talking about, but I want to talk about that on a large scale. Women, let's be honest. It's hard to be a female rapper and get taken serious. I know. That's been a thing for a while. But let's keep it a stack. Looking good, having a good shape, being what they say called eye candy, sex appeal, almost can guarantee your foot in the door, at least to start. We have to put in work to stay there? Absolutely. But to get the buzz popping, you have an easier way to get in. I ain't gonna lie. For the most part, guys, I don't care what we look like. I don't care how we shaped. I don't give a fuck. That is not getting a guy in the door. He has to do some work. And that's crazy because that's in life in general. But I don't know. You can challenge me and show me an artist, male rap artist, that got in the door off of simplistic shit like just how he looked or just because of his swag. I'm pretty sure work was put in. So I stand behind that. I just don't stand behind if that was a specific person because it's not for me to determine if they didn't put in any work at all. Because I'm all about work ethics. Even if you're not the dopest, you're not the most lyrical, I've grown to understand the game that it's not about that. So I jack that line though in general. Next line. I link with the ops. That was for Jay Prince. You know what? He didn't have to say that because I knew that's how he felt. Which is why I stand more behind him saying how the fuck he feels. Let's be real, y'all. I don't have to have evidence. And you can talk me down on this. Drake and Kanye are not friends. So when they did this shit for Larry Hoover, that concert was dope. I love the whole, how can I say, choreography of it. The acoustics. Everything about it. But they're not friends. So that line is valid. I stand behind that one. Last, this bitch lie about getting shot, but she's still a stallion. Megan feels away. Another reason I may stand behind this, they're saying he wasn't talking about her or not about her or wasn't for her, however they're dressing it up. My thing is, Drake and Tory Lanez are not friends, to my knowledge. So I don't think he would do that for him. Which doesn't take away from if you feel offended by hearing it. And no, I am not glorifying women getting shot at all. Was any of us there? But I don't want to do that. I'm not going there. What I'm saying is I'm not glorifying any violence, any of my people getting shot. Man, woman, dog. But this is entertainment, folks. Let's just take our feelings out of it. Can we take our emotions out of this? It's just music. It's just music. It's always just been music. So, leave that where that is, you know? That shit funny. Let's stay with music, though. Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis inducted into Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Huge support by Janet Jackson. Are you surprised? Did they help her with Rhythm Nation, right? They did Rhythm Nation. Which got a rock and roll sound to it, mixed with pop. But I was confused because of non-research, of course, that I didn't have them in the category of rock and roll. Because I best know them and give them their flowers and love and praise for the production of the Heartbreak album, New Edition, Can You Stand the Rain, that big hit. It's before you youngsters' time, but that's a big one. And that is not rock and roll whatsoever. So I just assume, and you know what happens when you do that, that they were in more R&B, even if you want to say pop. But I didn't know they rock and roll like that. Then I went and did a little digging and see that, yeah, that is where they're mostly at. So either way, congrats and flowers to Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. Big impact in the music world. Huge. You feel me? There you go. Some positive shit, right? I know I could bring some positive out. So shout to them. Heartbreak is a fucking classic. Go back and check that out. There's some bangers on there that's life-changing, mood-changing, and all kind of stuff. You feel me? So dope, dope, and dope. All right, let's get to the shit here. Ladies, can a billionaire take you from your current man? Let's take a sip for that. This question is cap. This is 2022. Sorry. I don't like the odds. Are some women that down for their man, no matter what dollar amount their man makes versus this billionaire? They are not leaving. They are ride or die for real. The problem is, I have a very small percentage of that. If I lined up, shout out Fresh and Fit. There's a new guy, I'm going to tell you next pod. I'm broadening my horizons. More guys I'm starting to watch podcast-wise. There's more stuff I have to say too. I don't want to jump out this topic. I'm going to come back. Anyway, if I lined up 100 women and asked this question, I believe, Voice of Reason believes, 95 of them is going with the billionaire. Sorry. 95. So, we don't have to stay here long. Hypergamy. Survival. Those instincts that are in a woman. Security. It's biological. So, I don't know how to dissect this and change the narrative on this. It's really no way to attack this. I got 95% of women saying, yes, a billionaire can take me from my current man. The 5 that won't, salute to you. That's true loyalty, true... I can't use the word love. That's why you saw me stare off like that. Because I still have a question about how that love thing works. Love is conditional. Love is like how you make me feel, how they make you feel, how you make them feel. Those are some conditions on that love. But I do want to give flowers to the ones who just would stand by their damn man because they just that loyal. You know, you have some that money doesn't entertain them. Money is not the tell-all, but I know it's a damn good factor for a lot. So I can move on because that's a no-brainer right there. I got most women leaving their current man for a billionaire. You can comment and tell me otherwise. You feel me? This is not something that we can sit here and kill an hour to debate. It's just, I'm just not. 2022, no way. If you tell me 1960s, 1970s, I may still say the same, but there's more arguments there. I want to say back in the day was more loyal, but I can't even say that for sure. I wasn't there. You feel me? But I know as we get later in life, 2022, 2032, 24, I don't think this narrative would change. Hypergamy, I don't think it would change. You know, and maybe it's the scarcity mindset that there aren't enough billionaires to go around. So if he chose you, they may feel they have to. You feel me? Now, we could get into the whole, he won't be with just that person, but I don't even want to go there. So yes, a billionaire can take ladies from their current man at a high volume, 90 to 95%. My opinion, how do you feel? Let's keep going. That sucks. Especially if a guy's working mad hard, busting his ass. I know that hurts, but you gotta face reality. Men that accept terms in a relationship You agreed to this or didn't speak up against it in the beginning. It's very hard, almost impossible to alter it later. What do you think I mean here? What terms? Monogamy. So, we are not truthful, fellas. In any situationship, when dealing with the opposite sex, we are trying to obtain something. And that something most likely is physical. So whether this is a mission for just one night, a mission for just a rotation to have fun, or a mission for a relationship, it all stems from settling for terms. Now, if you are just in it for physical, maybe you should keep it even more of a stack because that's all you want anyway. And you can exercise these rights across the spectrum and will be successful at some point. But I don't want to sell out and say that's the only scenario where you should keep it this 100. If you're looking for a relationship or any kind of consistency, because a one night stand is a one night stand. Even if you fuck once a week for 2 years, that was a situationship. So I think you should speak up on things that are important to you. The same way I have to throw us under the bus, the same way I just said, 90 to 95% of women are going to leave their man for a billionaire. I would say 90 to 95% of men do not like monogamy. They are not with it. They wouldn't wear the t-shirt. But go to the line. Men is as faithful as their options, right? So the few that do, you can still argue. And men let men have it. Like, we will tell each other about ourselves. So it's capped. Because 90 to 95%, men may say, nigga, it's 99.9% of men hate monogamy. Don't like it, right? So, what do? You can come to a term, you can come to a realization, acceptance. Maybe this is a later in life thing. I would say men approaching 40 and above. The best game plan for this is to have done you in your 20s and early 30s to where you had so much cha-cha, try to refrain from the ultimate dirty words, cha-cha, vagina, where you can say, you know what, I've had my run, I've had different kinds, different types, one night stand, the experience, that's the only thing that you kind of can do to where you can get to a point where you're like, all right, I'm good. So the one lady I choose, if that's her terms, I done had enough fun where I can accept these terms. It's not the end of the world. Guys kind of love genuinely when they really do love. They want to talk about how ain't shit we is. And men get a lot of fucking criticism and a lot of fucking shit, man. They do not know what we endure. And I don't even want to just say women. I'm just talking about society and women. You do not know. Especially a black man. I'll throw all men in to give them a fuck, throw them a bone. All men. But black men, you don't know what the fuck we endure. So, it's just crazy for me. So, we kind of just got to tuck shit, So, again, if you've done you, now you at the point where you're like, you know what? I like this woman enough, love this woman enough, because we love, like I said, we can love conditionally, that, that's what's going to make her happy, and our life can be more of a plus than any kind of negative, then fuck it, you can have that. So accept those terms, and if you can't, get on your purpose, get on your grind, Again, how much experience have you had? Were you able to freely do you? I'm not judging. I can, how personal do I get? Not enough, you probably say. But I've been there. Definitely early on, I did not have enough experiences to fully commit, even though I did early in life. So that was a lesson learned the hard way. But neither here nor there. You gotta get your experiences. You gotta get your shit off. And then you might could grasp this. But if you do accept these terms, then later down the line, you get on your purpose, you get on your grind, you're not really stressing the fact that that's the terms, then you win. But if you see down the line, you're like a little bitter, or you know the behavior. I'm not, you know the vibrations. I'm not gonna really expose it. It's per man. You'll know where it's like, I accepted this, but I really can't stick to it. It's changing me. It's changing my mood. It's changing my focus, and I ain't feeling it. You may have to reconsider and reevaluate that relationship. But I'm telling you, trying to change the terms late may not work. You may have to count that loss. And I want you to learn a lesson that if you count that loss, after you gave it your all and you tried to go this good route, everything from then on, you should just from the beginning say, look, I like flavor, I like variety. I had a chance in life to get off a lot. I had a chance to really do me, but I'm still seeing that that's just in me to do me. So I don't want to mislead or act like I'm about that smoke when I'm not. And it's hard. It's hard. Commend the men that could do that. And there's a reward in there. You may not really think there's much of a reward, but again, happy life. And you could just tie it to that conditional love you have for your partner. Because if you know that's something that hurts them, and is it really like, break it down. Take it from their perspective. They don't think like us, they're not us. So if they really like value their body and they're not going to do it. I know you're saying men and women are not the same, so why do we have to do what they won't do? Why do we have to not do what they won't do is what I mean. But you don't want to hurt her. You know that bothers them that much. If they're that anal about it and you truly love them, fuck it, son. Like, fuck it. I know. But again, I gave you the steps. You try it out. You didn't speak up on it from the gate, or you do speak up on it from the gate, and then y'all may not even get nowhere. But there will be somebody who accepts your terms. So if that's that vocal for you, you must get that off. When you start dating and you start getting serious with somebody, you got to throw that out there from the gate and see where y'all go with that. I don't have a high number of acceptance of that, but speak your shit if you have to. But if you're going to not speak your shit, see if you can adjust to these terms. But you can't dwell in it forever if it's making you miserable. If you see a change in you, if you have any bitterness, then maybe you need to like reevaluate or get the fuck up out of that. Or just never get in no serious relationship. Shout out AMS, stay red pill. Purple pill is relationship. Purple pill, you ready. You know what women are capable of. You know what they can do. But you're like, you know what? I had my fun fucking dating and running and playing the field and running around. That shit is tiring, draining, exhausting, costly. Listen, I ain't against shit. I'm voice of reason. I'm for everything. If you want to fuck 1,000 bitches, I'll live vicariously through you. Sex and all of that, that's why we here. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not against the biological stamp that's been set. We all would love to have numerous and continue to get that off. But it comes at a price. And the world is so grimy. You feel me? So it's like, yeah, if it was smooth sailing, everybody understood the terms, everybody played ball fairly, the life will never be like that. But if it was, yeah, let's get it. Let's get it. But it's grimy, it's dirty, it's cutthroat, it's selfish, it's filthy, it's nasty. So just don't let it change you. Don't let it make you a dark person. Don't let it make you miserable or bitter. But try to troop it. Otherwise, voice and move on. That's what I got on that. And I end things off with the final joint before I get out of here. Society tells men to suppress their emotions, even from themselves. This can lead to withdrawal, shutdown, and more severe mental issues. Good point. Doesn't that tie in with the other shit I just said? They don't know what we go through. They don't. Yes, who you show emotions to is pivotal. But I feel like this is where men gotta have solid brothers in their corner. Niggas on their level or doing better. Not a lot. You don't need like a dozen people. You don't need half a dozen. 2, 3 solid people where if you do have an emotional break or moment, you could talk to them about it. You know what I'm saying? That's who to go to if you have to speak some shit. But the whole suppress it, even from yourself, is not healthy. That's toxic. Let's point out examples. I mean, I can't tie this to that for sure. I'm not psychological. I'm not a psychic. I mean, psychologist or therapist or mental studies like that. Forgive my tripping up with the words. Let's look at Good Nurse, as I mentioned earlier. Let's look at Dharma. Could this be? It's not a like cover up. It's not like an excuse. It's not an alibi. What I'm saying is, men are human beings. To suppress your emotions, yeah, you should be able to control them. Men definitely have to control emotions, fellas. As strongly, as able-minded as possible. But you still have emotions. I'm not judging that. You're not a fucking robot. And this statement clearly wants men to be robots. Have a circle you can vouch for. The smaller the better, I say. And, you know, if you got shit you need to get off, that's who you get them off to. The thing is, we have to adjust quickly. We have to, you know, shit get to us. Shake it off. You know, you get that shit off, you're able to vent about it and move on and get to the solution. That's what I do feel though. You know, you can have a moment, you can have a break. You know, nobody's perfect. You can have an offset day, but you got to get right back in the field. You can't linger or dwell on it. And I think that's what society's afraid of. Almost finished here. That's what society's afraid of. If we took it, I guess if society judged men and let them be them, that they would never get back on track. You know what I'm saying? So we don't even get that break because they feel we probably linger there too long. So don't give them none because they'll never come back. That's like too impulsive of a thinking. We can have a moment of bounce back, but society won't accept it. So they tell us or try to brainwash us into thinking that men's supposed to be solid, 10 toes down, 24/7, 365. We get no leeway. No leeway with that. And I'm here to tell you fellas, that's bullshit. I'm just telling you how to go about it. Definitely control your emotions. I don't want you to suppress your emotions, especially not from yourself. You probably need to air that out sometimes, but it's about who you choose to air that out with and how long you let it linger. Those are my points. Not to not have it at all. Just watch these things. Who do you have in your circle tight, male-wise, to relate to talk to, and then shake it off and get back into the game? You know what I mean? That I'm for. So don't let society feel like you don't have to have it at all and that it's this big issue. Because that's why we have the cycles in the world that we do with the men wilding the fuck out. They have nobody to talk to, no hugs, no genuine love, no conditional love from growing up to now. And these are huge issues in society. You know what I mean? So think about that. Think about that. And fellas, don't suppress. Just choose where. And until the next time I get up with you guys, y'all be safe. Y'all stay safe. Get ready for the holidays. Happy Thanksgiving in advance. You did not guess what's in the cup. It's new contents. New contents. Peace. I holla.